Let's talk about the children who are working on the Volta Lake as, well, if you like, slaves. He says he lived in the same house as one of his friends who drowned whilst working on Lake Volta. The boy, who we have named Kwame, says he's become scared and does not want to go fishing. Actually, he did get scared and did not want to go fishing, but his master would not have any of that. His story mirrors what many other children are going through as they go fishing on the lake with their masters who took them from their parent from different locations for a fee. Public Relations Officer of the Eastern Regional Police, Francis Gumadu, says police would deal with the fishermen and boat owners who are engaged in the act sometime last week. Sometime last week, I must say, the police rescued about 20 children who were taken from various parts to a community in their Front Plains North constituency. That's called Ejrakota. Maxwell Agbagba joined the rescue mission codenamed Operation Ablode. Here is Maxwell's story. When we return from that story, we'll have a conversation on it. But check this out.
Lake Volta has a booming fishing industry, a source of livelihood for many who live along its banks, but also a source of pain and anguish for many children who are taken from different places in Ghana to work as child slaves.
We're on a boat right now from Tepa, Abotuase, heading to one of the island communities around Afram Plains. Well, ahead of me, we have two boats. There's another one behind, and then another speedboat, all going for this rescue mission. The people inside these boats are personnel from the Ghana Police Service. All of these people are going to be part of the rescue mission at Afram Plains. And it's my first time on a boat like this. It promises already to be adventurous.
The trip to the island community of Ejrakota was like a journey to eternity. Police say they had done extensive work prior to the rescue mission. After many days of investigations, they say 24 children and 11 boat owners were identified. The personnel arrived in the community knowing who they were going after.
Noted.
They all had copies of a booklet which had images of the suspected trafficked children and traffickers. 9 boat owners who were uncovered by undercover investigations were arrested.
Operation Ablode is still ongoing here at Ejrakota, a community at the banks of the Volta Lake. What is ongoing behind me now is interrogation by the Criminal Investigations Department. Now, the suspects are here, but surprisingly, all the children in the community have gone missing. The only people here on the banks of the river are women and men. We can't find the children.
The team will later learn the community had prior information. According to Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Eastern Regional Police, Francis Gumadu, the boat owners hid the children in their rooms, adjoining communities and the bush.
And when I was probing further to know the reason why we could not meet the children, it was clear from the chief's own words that he was even telling the people that they should let the children come so that we have interview with them. Those that are supposed to be helped will help them. But they didn't listen. We have it in mind that we don't want to antagonize anybody. We just want to appeal to their conscience, genuinely, for them to come out and give us their support.
It is 4:33 a.m. right now, and what is happening behind me, we have the arrival of some of the suspected trafficked children. After many hours of interrogation by the Criminal Investigations Department, we've had these children arriving here, and the rest of the process will continue.
Police picked intelligence. The children were being transported back to Ningo Pram Pram, where they were taken. Deputy PRO of the Eastern Region Police provides details.
As part of our intelligence, we planted some plainclothes men at various points, at various barriers. So these children were actually gathered at the village after we left with the suspects. And they were put in a car, a bus, with one male and one female to actually lead them to where they brought them from. And the vehicle that was transporting the 16 of the trafficked children, suspected trafficked children, were intercepted at Atimpoku and brought to where we are now.
Together, the rescued children, who range between the ages of 5 to 13, huddled together and moved into a room, the starting point of rehabilitation and restoration for their lost childhood. Here, they are enjoying rice with chicken. I've met one of them I choose to call Kwame. He says he lived on the same compound with one of the boys who drowned on the lake. He says his master beat him on the lake with a rope. He has not set eyes on his parents since he was taken to the fishing community many years ago.
On
that day, we did not go with them. One of the children was screaming. He had entered the lake to remove the nets. The man he went with left him. He drowned. I lived in the same house with the boy who died. I told him I was scared, but he allayed our fears. He said nothing will happen to us. We cast the net, we paddled the canoe. He usually beats us on the lake with a rope just to get us to work faster. He does not allow us to go out to play, not even football, with our friends.
For another boy I choose to call Kojo, he says he was taken to the fishing community after the death of his father. He was taken away by a man his mother introduced to him as a stepbrother. He first met him the day he came to take him to Edrakota.
I had never met him before, but on the day he came, my mother told me we have one mother but different fathers.
When JoyNews contacted the director of the anti-human trafficking at the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection, she said the Eastern Region Police did the rescue and are in the position to speak to it. Public Relations Officer of the Eastern Regional Police, Francis Gumado, says police would make sure fishermen who use children in fishing on the Volta Lake are made to face the full rigors of the law.
Let me reiterate the commitment of the Eastern Regional Police Command to deal ruthlessly with boat masters who use children for fishing on the Volta Lake. So 8 of them were put before Koforia Circuit Court B yesterday morning. And as they were arraigned before the court, their plea was not taken though, but because of the ongoing investigations, they were remanded into police custody to reappear on the 8th of May 2019. In respect of the trafficked children too, we have rescued extra 4 in addition to the 16 that we have rescued earlier. So the process is ongoing because we are targeting 24, and as you can see, we are making a lot of successes in that regard.
For these rescued children, life has just started as they are assured of balanced meal, proper health care and education. Government continues to put in efforts to clamp down on the menace of child trafficking and the use of children for fishing on Lake Volta, but it appears more needs to be done to save the situation. Maxwell Abagba, JoyNews.
Maxwell filed that report. I have right now in the studio Director of the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Mike Barr. Mr. Barr, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Gifty.
Right. So we've seen this story. This is actually not the first time. We've done this story a couple of times here on JoyNews. CNN has come to do their own. Government had issues with it, etc. Let's look at this particular issue about, we're told that Maxwell says after he left there, so when he was there, 13 of the children were rescued. Yeah. After they left, about 8 more, I think, a little above that, but the total is about 21 so far rescued. What is the latest? What is the update on this particular story?
Now, as you are already aware, the accused persons were arraigned before court, circuit court in Koforia, and then we were able to rescue additional number of children who were sneaked out of the community. And now we have the total number to be 21, including a female. And their ages range between 6 and then 16. So we are going back to court on the 8th of May, which is a Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the defense they put up? I mean, they've been in court already, right? Can you share with us some of the...
Yeah, okay, thank you, Gifty. What I must say, some of them have admitted. In law we have admission and then confession. Some of them have confessed, some of them have admitted. But we are not interested in the admissions. We are not interested in the confessions. As an investigator or as a crime officer, what we normally do is to go beyond the admissions, go beyond the convictions, and then investigate to actually get the evidence. Because anything at all can happen in court. He can tell you, I wasn't even the one, I was coerced, I say so under duress. But if we have the evidence available to, you can prosecute them effectively and successfully. What we are interested in is to prosecute them to serve as deterrent. This has been going on for years, and these are innocent children who have lives to live. They have right to dignity, and their rights must be protected by the police.
So in this specific case, are we looking at people who have actually gone for these children? Because the last time I spoke to the gender minister, she said that, well, there are some of the people who are fishers and they take their children to school, but they still want their children to learn the trade and to understand how it works. Are the people who are being arrested persons who are known to have no biological ties with these children who were found with them, and are they known to have taking money from their, giving money to their parents to take these children to work for them?
Yeah. As I said, they have admitted they don't have any biological relations. They were trafficked from communities, Ningo and then Ningo Pram, and they were sent to this community on the island. So we will investigate it. Normally you need to make sure that you will try to foresee and rebut some of these issues before you get to court. And even, for you to say, in the Children's Act, that is Act 560, which was promulgated in 1998, the law has categorized some activities as hazardous, which includes fishing or children who are found on the lake, being exploited. So the mere presence, even the mere presence of the child on the lake itself is even an offense. It's in the Children's Act. These activities have been categorized as worst form of child labor. Children who are supposed to be in school are being exploited. And mind you, child labor, worst form of child labor is any or exploitative labor. It's any activity that is done, to prevent the child from the smooth or the growth and development of this child. Yeah. These children might be allowed to grow into responsible adulthood. And realize that most of these perpetrators do not have their children with them doing that kind of exploitative labor on the lake. Okay. Most of them have their children in schools and the universities, and they are living at the backs of these children. And we should not allow that to happen to these innocent children.
So investigations are ongoing for those who have been arrested. Are you looking for more of those involved to arrest, or are there 3 people you have arrested helping you with that?
No, for now, as I said, we have arrested 8 of them. They are facing trial in court. We wouldn't want to preempt what we are going to do out there, because mind you, you still have some of these perpetrators out there. But we have an intelligence system operating. We have activated our intelligence system, and then we are still making sure we are able to rescue the remaining number of children. The remaining
number of children. That's a very important point, because I was just going to draw your attention to the fact that, and I'm sure that your office supplied these details, 285 were told were rescued in 2018, yes. But 339 were rescued in 2017. But there are still a lot of children there. So what is the fate of the rest of these children? What is the plan?
Yes, in fact, when I came in 2017, Ghana had been on Tier 2 watch list. I believe you are aware. And then as a result of proactive, strategies that we put in place, were able to gain some convictions, and then we also rescued, that was 2017, we rescued 339, including adults. So the children were made up of, I think out of the number, 339, we had 190 of them being children, and over 100 of them were rescued on the voter league. In addition to that, we made sure that we embarked on sensitization within some of these communities. And I can share with you that during the Blue Day, you know, every year the UN has a day that has been set aside to educate and sensitize people on trafficking. Okay. And we were in some of these prone communities to sensitize them. For instance, we're at Bridjano. On this very island, there's a community called Bridjano, not far from Donkokrum, where we embarked on some of this sensitization, and then warned the boat owners and the boat users that they should desist from these activities. So we are going to do a lot of rescues. You know, we collaborate with our partners. What we are praying for is more resources. The anti-human trafficking agencies should be well resourced. You know, we have 11 offices across the country. Okay. Yeah, and we want to make sure that all these... So
say one in each region?
Yeah, you know, police, we have 11 police regions. Okay. Tema is a region. So as a result of that, you know, we recently, in 2017, established an office, a desk at Tema to cater for the children, to cater for some of these activities at Sege. You know, it's also another prone area, Sege, Tema, and those environments, to make sure that we ease the pressure on Accra, and then to make sure that the other regions are also able to build their capacities to invest.
So from your assessment, how well have we done? You say you talk about in 2017.
Yes, in fact.
So how well would you say you have done in your assessment?
Yes, in fact, we have really done well since I assumed the mantle in 2017, and under the good and kind leadership of Mami Tiwa and then my boss at GP. We, as I said, in 2017, we were able to rescue 339 victims and then gain 5 convictions. And I believe that it was a result of that, together with other factors, that you know, Ghana, you know, Ghana was elevated from tier 2 watch list to tier 2, and that in itself should tell you that that Ghana is now doing well. Last year in 2018, as we said, we were able to rescue 285, and 231 of them were children.
But if you don't know the figure, for example, if you don't know the figure of the people, the children who are in such modern day slavery, and you rescue, say, 285 in 2018, how then do you pat yourself on the back? I'm not saying it's nothing, it's something, but how do you say you have done so well? Because you don't know the bigger picture from which you have this 285, or do we know how many children are?
But it's better than we not, you know, hitherto.
Yeah, but that's comparing the best of the West. But if you're looking at the ideal situation,
we don't only rescue. We are not only rescuing. We are making sure the perpetrators are held accountable for the offences that they have committed. And in 2018 alone, we were able to prosecute successfully 18 people, 18 persons.
Is that something we've never done before?
Something that had not happened in the past before. And so it means we are doing well. We are not saying it's the best.
So what's the plan going forward?
No, we have, the police administration has come out with what's called a 4P strategy. You know, within the trafficking business, the trafficking industry, we normally use 4 Ps. The first one is the prevention. The second one is protection. The third one is prosecution, and we have partnership. And all these P's must work, you know, simultaneously. For instance, as we are rescuing, preventing, sensitizing, we must also be prosecuting them to serve as deterrent to others. And there's no way police alone can do it. Police are also collaborating with other agencies that are social welfare, especially when it comes to taking care of children. It is the baby of social welfare. So we all collaborate together with other agencies, the local NGOs, the international NGOs, and then to make sure that we give a relief to these innocent children who are...
My final question is, what feedback do you get You said you've gone on sensitization in these communities where children are prone to being used as slaves.
Yeah.
What is the feedback the fishermen there give you when you send your message to them?
No, some of them have been saying, oh, they didn't know it was an offense, but we have been telling them ignorance of the law is no excuse, so they should desist from that. And we also have some good-spirited individuals among these communities who, you know, are not happy with the way some of these children are brought from other communities, and they provide information to us. So it means we are now trying to bridge the relationship between police and anti-trafficking agencies. You know, the relationship between the law enforcement agencies and the communities, so we can get. We are not there. They are living within the community, so they can give us more information. Mind you, without information, there's no way. Police, we are not magicians. We can't conjure, and we need more information.
Superintendent Ba, I thank you very much for your time. But if you had a group, I mean, I'll give you the final chance to speak to people, and I know a lot of people watch us outside Accra. I'd like for you to speak to them. If people live in these areas and they're watching this, what do you want them to take away from this conversation?
Yes, we are warning the boat masters and the fisher folks that they should desist from engaging children in exploitative labor, especially on the lake. Gifty, Central Region, I think the early this year, a child was sold out to Yeji. Unfortunately, the child didn't know how to swim, and the child got drowned. We got information. We had to go exhume the body, and then brought this child, this deceased, this body to police hospital for autopsy. And now they are facing trial in Cape Coast. So we are not ready to entertain any interferences. We are not ready because these children have the right to live. We must protect their dignity, and then to make sure that they grow into responsible adulthood. And then we also want to warn parents that we are not saying relatives should not help you to take care of your children, but when they come to you with juicy packages, when they come to you with juicy promises, telling you, oh, I will send your child to the university, at the University of Ghana, or I will take care of your child till he or she gets to the university. You need to be visiting these children. And then, because the law, that's Section 3 of the Human Trafficking Act 694, and then the Regulation 2, sub-regulation 9 of the airline, makes it an offense for any parent to be involved. So you cannot say, oh, I'm a parent, and for that matter, I have the right to do or to sell out.
Child.
And when you are also caught or when you are arrested, you'll be dealt with in accordance with the law.
Superintendent Mike Ba, he is a director of Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Gifty.